I love to see that you brought your paper again.
Yeah, just reading about the Vikings offensive line, and Sid thinks it could be one of the best in the NFL.
The best in the NFL? You think that's you think he's trying to write a legit column, or is he kidding?
Let's not worry about Sid. I'm worried about you. Did you sleep in your car?
No. I'm on vacation. Technically, I'm still on vacation.
Vacation?
I did Wisconsin Dells with my 3 kids in a minivan.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was awesome. And now I'm heading up to Brainerd, Baxter, Nisswa, Cross Lake, northern Minnesota.
Did you get dressed at a church rummage sale?
No, this is, I knew I'm standing next to you, but I wanted to keep the bit going, so I put the suit coat over my old dirty T-shirt. And I didn't shave, but that's all right.
Well, this hasn't been washed, so I think we're in good shape.
All right. See, that's why standing next to you, I love it. But you look great. You smell...
I look great if I was Octomom's body double.
All right, let's start the show.
Sweet.
All right, I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul Lambert. We're here for MeatSauce Monty, our show. We're going to start off with talking about Vikings.
Okay.
We got our jokes out of the way. In Seattle, the biggest story, everybody's expecting that this is a playoff rematch. No Teddy. What was the deal?
I wish I knew, and I texted. I've got a couple of sources, good for me, but I texted them immediately, and I was like, what's happening? Normally, they're pretty good about it. They'll tell me, and, I got to keep them, what's the word, where I don't tell people who they are?
They're anonymous?
Yeah, anonymous. So normally they tell me, and they said just a coach's decision from what they've been told, but I don't know. I mean, is this a big issue? Because then yesterday he comes out and doesn't throw in practice. Now, granted, the guy that they signed off whatever San Diego Charger practice squad, he'll be gone in
Brad Sorensen.
a week. He'll be gone. But why is he not throwing? What's wrong? I mean, and I get the whole Mike Zimmer thing, and I love Mike Zimmer, great guy, but what's up with all of a sudden this, we're just going to keep everything a big secret?
Right.
You got people who are possibly paying big money to show up to these games, and this third preseason game, I get it's a preseason game. It's in a brand new stadium. But for him to go, well, he would have played yesterday. Well, why isn't he throwing in practice?
Right.
If they do the same Olay 3-card Monty, no pun intended, hidden card trick on Sunday, where Sean Hill marches out there, I'd be pissed.
People are going to be booing.
Oh, I'd be furious.
Yeah.
But
they're expecting to treat it like a regular game.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to say anything because it's the preseason. But
Yeah.
I don't really understand why all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's Sean Hill, who looks like Nick Swartzen. I mean, Sean Hill's
An old Nick Swartzen.
He's horrible at football.
He's okay.
He's horrible.
No,
He's not okay.
Okay.
If he has to play more than one game, they're going to go 1-15.
Okay, so how can you say that
awful.
if you look at his stat line? He was 10 of 17, 129 yards. He managed the game, no turnovers, no touchdown. We got the touchdown, but it wasn't passing.
Sure.
So how can you? I mean, he's a backup.
Did you watch him throw a football? He throws it like Uncle Rico. I mean, it looked like it hurt him throwing some of those passes.
Maybe it does, but he's out there doing it, whereas Teddy isn't.
They should have kept Christian Ponder yesterday. He was unbelievable.
Okay,
well,
see, you're looking at my notes again. You're
can't.
Stealing all of my goods. You can't read my doctor-like handwriting.
No, I can't. No, I
swear we have the same bullet points, though you've already hit on this. So let's rewind the tape a little bit. Teddy doesn't play, and then after the game, Zimmer plays the whole, it was my decision, I can do that, can't I? And he was a little bit standoffish with the media, and now he's coming back just saying, ESPN, I think, is the ones that dug and said, it's a sore shoulder. Now he's not throwing in practice. We get this Brad Sorensen, and Zimmer says, we always have 4. We're just late because Heineke with his leg injury.
Which is true.
Okay.
That's true, yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is there smoke? Is there a fire? Or is this, he's going to downplay it. Zimmer is going to say, no, everything's fine. Let's relax. Well, then why isn't Teddy throwing at practice? Are we going to see more of Sean Hill this upcoming week?
I don't know. If we do, and I think we'll know more because I would assume they practice tomorrow, and I'm sure because they want to get used to the 16-game schedule, that they're practicing tomorrow. They'll take Tuesday off. They'll get the game plan, yada, yada, yada.
Nice Seinfeld reference.
If they come out, Seinfeld's the worst TV show of all time.
We'll get into that later.
If they come out on Monday and it's the same song and dance, then there's an issue.
Sure.
There's an issue. Because you can say all you want, it's a coach's decision, or like, with Sean Hill yesterday had a Vets Day or whatever that was.
Right, got to take a day off.
You can say all that. But when he comes out and he's only handing the ball off, this is a big make or break season. If your quarterback has a sore shoulder and you're coming out and going, well, it's a coach's decision, why can't you just say it's a sore sore shoulder from throwing so much.
It is tough to say.
It is tough to say. Sounds like I'm drunk. You know.
You aren't?
No, absolutely not.
Sorry.
But I don't know if this is a big deal. But if it's nothing and he's just, maybe he's got a little dead arm or whatever, and it's just fatigue from throwing all those deep balls, fine.
So here's the other question: if Zimmer says if this was a real game he would have played, do you think then he's going to play on Sunday? Are they going to treat it? I mean, the third preseason game is usually the one they try to treat like a real game.
Well, he has to play on Sunday. If he's good enough to go, he's got to play. He's not good enough as a quarterback to not take live reps that aren't not take preseason. He's not Brett Favre. He's not even Blake Bortles. He's not any of these quarterbacks. He's not Brady. None of these guys. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
You think he's in the bottom third?
Teddy? I love Teddy Bridgewater as a person. He's a bottom 5 quarterback in the league. He just is. He is.
All right.
He's not good. He's not great.
He's good. He's not.
He's not good.
No,
he's
not
good.
good.
No, he's not good. You can't be a good quarterback in the NFL when last year he had how many under 100-yard games? That's not a good quarterback.
So let's.
He's not a good quarterback. You can't have
All right.
those kind of yards if you're a good quarterback.
Well, let's throw this out there then. He replaced Ponder. You think that Teddy is bottom 5? What was Ponder? Was he 32 out of 32?
Ponder. Did you see that Green Bay Thursday night game? 2 years ago, Ponder's last game that was awful.
Sure.
Ponder is one of the worst quarterbacks of all time. Although he came back the other day, and granted, everybody's all excited about it, and they're like, "Oh my God, Ponder's great." He played against guys that are going to be washing cars in 3 days. Ponder sucks.
It's a good job if you can get it.
Sure, better than the job I have. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. My radio job's fun. This is fun. I don't know where I'm going with this. But the point is, Teddy, he needs to play.
Yeah.
He needs to play.
That's what I was going to ask. So Sean Hill or Ponder, because Ponder, you said his stat line, 7 of 8, 86 yards, a touchdown. He also ran for a 22-yard bootleg touchdown run. You say he's playing against guys that we could go in the backyard and play flag
Well, I would
football
assume
with,
he's
so
the
it doesn't matter.
third-string quarterback.
That's
right?
what I was going to say. Do you think he's going to fight for
did
second?
Kaepernick play?
No, I
Well,
don't think so.
then-
He's hurt.
Yeah,
So
Kaepernick. I mean, think about it. They have 3 quarterbacks from that 2012 draft or 11, whatever it was. They have 3 quarterbacks. Gabbert, whatever it is, was taken. Then Ponder, and then Kaepernick was in the second round. They have 3 of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Disaster. They're all disaster. I mean, what's the saying? If you have 1 or 2 good quarterbacks, or 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1. You don't want to have 2 quarterbacks. I don't know. I think they're in deep trouble out there in San Francisco, and I think they're also in deep trouble here if Teddy Bridgewater is in and out with this injury for the whole season.
All right, well, let's move on. Defense. We got 4 sacks on Russell Wilson. What's your take on that? Was that something to be positive with on the defensive end?
Why is Russell Wilson playing? Why is Russell Wilson in that? Russell Wilson's a guy that doesn't need to play.
Right.
I mean, that one pass he threw is one of the prettiest passes you'll see in football, that he hit that guy right over the middle. Great pass. After Russell Wilson gets sacked once, you take him out. Russell Wilson's their franchise. I mean, he's their best player after Marshawn Lynch retired, and you can't let him get hit. The defense is great. Everson is going to be one of the better defensive players in this league, if not he and J.J. Watt.
Caught him on that sack.
He's
running from behind.
unbelievable.
He's
Everson is such a good football player, and I've said this before. There were so many people that were like, wait a minute, you gave him that kind of contract? Everson will be one of those guys that will be very good for a very long time and might get 17 or 18 sacks this season.
Receiving core, do you think that means anything, that it was Sean Hill and not Teddy? Because the receiving core, their numbers were not very good. I mean, Adam Thielen was decent. Charles Johnson, 0. Laquan Treadwell, 0. He was targeted 4 times. Cordero, they tried to get him active. He got 2 receptions early, that little bubble screen where he ran back. Trying to unleash him, let his speed take over.
Sure.
Does any of that stuff statistically, I know it's preseason, but does any of that matter because it was Sean Hill and not Teddy?
No, if it were Teddy, I don't know how much different it would be. Maybe some of the passes would be better or more on target, but I mean, the receivers look just as bad as Sean Hill did. Laquan Treadwell dropped a couple. I mean, Cordero Patterson had more yards in this preseason game than he did all last season. So
that's why I said, does it mean anything?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Adam Thielen looked great. I mean, he should be the 3rd or 4th wide receiver on this team. Laquan just had, he's overthrown a couple times and kind of olayed a couple, but I think the receiving core may need a little bit of work, but they're dependent on having Teddy out there, and we won't see anything until Tennessee. I mean, this could be all for nothing. As long as Teddy Bridgewater's available, to play in Tennessee and he plays a little against San Diego this Sunday, then it's all for nothing.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Time for our first time out. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of Rio. Would you party with Ryan Lochte? It seems like you guys would. You do.
Oh, yeah.
I'd get along so well.
The problem is, in that group, I'd be the smartest one, and that's a bad sign.
No, you would be the smartest one. Welcome back. So last week we were talking about Rio, and we got to have jokes. It was at Rio's expense with the poop water in the river, the fart water that was green. And we were laughing at some of the funniest stuff I think you've ever done.
Oh, thank you.
The rowing, I still watch it on YouTube. It's great.
Thank you.
This week, the United States are the ones that are looking pretty silly with Ryan Lochte. What is your take? It was as we were doing our show last week. He alleged that he was held at gunpoint, robbed, fake cops, all this stuff. Now he comes out, he embellished all the truth has come out that he was drinking, going to the gas station. What's your take on Lochte and how this situation has played out?
Well, in my opinion, if you're the other 2 or 3 guys that were with him, shame on you. I mean, you have Ryan Lochte, who is maybe the dumbest person, one of the dumbest people to walk this planet, and I'm dumb. Him being the brains in your operation.
He's the leader of the crew.
Oh my God, that would be like if people came to the station and were like, we need to talk to somebody, and they sent, we'd like to talk to Dave Ryan or Dan Barrero, and they go, nope. You're going to talk to MeatSauce. I mean, you can't have a guy like Ryan Lochte be the head of your group when you get into some kind of position and then go, well, we don't know what to do. And Ryan just goes, I got it. Come on. Shame on you. And the full story, who knows if we'll ever get the full story, because they were, I think, held at gunpoint by something that I don't know. But Ryan Lochte is the one thing that bugs me about the whole thing is if you're Ryan Lochte and you have all these other events and you have all these other people winning gold and winning these medals and these other great stories, and it's all overshadowed by some guy with Kool-Aid hair is out running around like an idiot getting drunk and being where he shouldn't be, that overshadowed everything.
Absolutely.
Shame on him for that. Most importantly, this is a big deal to all these other people. And some of these other people in some of these sports, and no offense to running and all that, but when it isn't the Olympics, nobody cares about that. It's just the fact.
You're right.
But
gymnastics,
the one
swimming,
moment in their life when, who won gold? Well, who cares? Did Ryan Lochte lie? Were they out looking for prostitutes? That story came up. He took away from a lot of people's 4 years of hard work. That's the most embarrassing part of this.
Very good take. That was very mature.
Thank you.
I like that. Just the other people that were with him, Gunnar Bentz, Jack Conger, James Fegan. James Fegan donated $11,000 to an organization in Rio before he left. So at least he seems heartfeltly genuine, apologetic to try to make things right.
Yeah, but I got no time.
You say it's overshadowed because of
you can't
Lochte.
do that. Shame on some of the media too. I mean,
giving him a free pass.
Right, yeah, or just being, and then he bails on his buddies. That's just
he was gone.
That's a sign of a horrible human being.
He's 32. Doesn't that seem like
grow up, Peter Pan? Well, granted,
I love. That's
T-shirt with.
That's one of your greatest lines.
Well, it's not. I stole it. I stole all my material. But yeah, grow up, Count Chocula. Let's eat some. He's just stupid.
You're going nowhere with that.
No,
Count
he's dumb.
Stupid. This is a popular sports radio thing. It seems to bounce up here recently. If you had to make a Mount Rushmore of the U.S. Olympic team this year in Rio, what 4 faces do you put on there?
The 4 faces of the U.S. gymnastics team.
Really? Nobody else?
No, Michael. You knew Michael.
They
Phelps
have 5, don't they?
Well, yeah, but you could put 5 of them. Pick whatever 4 you think you put on there. And I've said this all
gymnastics
along.
Only. All right.
Michael, you knew what Michael Phelps is going to do. The women's gymnastics got so overshadowed because it was on in the afternoon. Shame on the IOC or whoever it is to put them on at 2 in the afternoon. That's a primetime event. Those girls are some of the best gymnastics team of all time. One of them. Yeah. Simone Biles is one of the best athletes this country has.
Yes. She would be on there for sure as an individual.
Yeah,
but you're saying team.
Put the whole team on there. You put them on at 2 in the afternoon, and in this world where everything is on chat, on Facebook and all that, and Twitter and all that. No, shame on the IOC. That was a marvelous, marvelous run by them, and it was spoiled because it's on when everybody's at work.
Yeah.
That was stupid. The IOC makes plenty of mistakes, and there's not a more crooked organization than the IOC, but to have it come out and go, well, it's on at 2. Well, no, those women deserve prime time live Every night. Every night that they were on, it should have been live at 7:30 at night.
You're getting fired up over gymnastics.
Well,
I love this.
I feel bad for them because no one, I mean, the swimming's great. Phelps should be prime time, but everything else should just go by the wayside. The men's basketball team's a joke. It's all a joke.
Ooh.
Even though,
So I was going to, Carrie Walsh-Jennings, most decorated beach volleyball player. Is she?
Pick any of the 4 women in the gymnastics because they all get overshadowed by the stupid men that are in the gymnastics.
Wow, you're fired up. Allison Felix, most decorated track and field.
Put her on there. Put them all. Just rotate it every month.
I love it. You're like put them all.
Like a Christmas village that my mom sets up. Just rotate it however you want. Put the pond down at one end and the treehouse and the Mr. Fields cookie store and the whatever you want to do. Rotate it all you want. It literally made no sense.
No. I love it. The Christmas decoration time.
God, my mom sets up this like whole village. It's Mom, nobody sees it but you and Dad, and Dad's tired of it. But.
And that is our Olympics comparison, is your mom's little Christmas decoration village. All right, well then let's move on. We can talk dumpster fire, our Twins. I got to admit here, I had a hard time coming up with stuff to talk about. We got 6 weeks of our season left, so we're going to have to talk about this for 6 more weeks. I came up with Hector Santiago, 0-4.
Disaster. He's a disaster.
Well, he was 6-0 with the Angels. We get him. We think we're going to get some win. He's 0-4. He's almost got an 11 ERA.
They would have gotten 10 run last night if they were a little league team. He's a disaster. That whole team's a disaster. I'd sell that team. I'd fold that team up and
sell them all.
I'm not kidding you.
Pave
over Target Field.
Pave over.
They're a disaster. They're
go
awful.
Watch the Saints. Go to CHS.
Go to CHS. The Twins are an absolute disaster. They don't deserve any of that.
Wait till they make the playoffs some year when we're doing our show.
They won't make the playoffs.
I love them.
They won't make the
great.
playoffs for 10 years. I'll be fired from this and the radio by then, so I don't have to worry about it.
All right, we're done with dumpster fire. Let's get to Jerry Kill's bio. He wrote a book titled Chasing Dreams, Living My Life 1 Yard at a Time. It's going to be released next month. In it, he didn't necessarily take shots at the U of M, but he did say some interesting comments that he thinks he would still be coaching had it not been for Norwood Teague's scandal and all the extra pressure that put on him, not only as a coach, but he had to do a lot of different speaking engagements and almost be the active AD. What's your take on Coach Kill's book and what he said about the Gophers?
It's weird with Coach Kill because I feel bad for him. I've seen him out in public a couple times since he retired, and he's nothing but a class act guy. Norwood Teague's an embarrassment to the male race. I mean,
we're not a race, gender.
Gender, whatever. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, the male population, I guess. He's just a disaster. Norwood Teague is a disaster. Jerry Kill's a great story and a great guy, but I don't know. The football team was good. They weren't great. I mean, they never made a major bowl game. I don't know if he ever beat Wisconsin?
Yes.
Okay, well then that's totally
We had
right.
the jug and the axe at the same time.
Okay, well then good for him.
Yeah.
Point is I don't know how he. I mean, what did he have?
I forget what the medical condition, but
he
had the seizures.
The seizures. Yeah, I mean that. As I've said, one of the saddest moments of my entire life, and I've had a pretty good life, was watching him in that press conference quit. I mean that. You see a guy who has to give up his dream simply because of a medical reason. Yeah. Sad, very sad. But to this point, would he still be here? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, that's speculation. I don't know. I mean, it's
but he
easy
says it
to
in the
say.
book. That's why it's something to
talk about.
Sure,
but I wish he was still here. Yep. He's a hell of a football coach. He's a great football coach.
Get your beverage ready. We're going to do some drinking after this. I got some good trivia. Prepare that beverage. We'll be back. As we do every week, it's time for the drinking game. It's trivia. If he's right, I drink. If he's wrong, he drinks. All right, here we go. Number one, I know how much you love soccer. What men's team won the gold medal?
Serbia.
Wrong. It was Brazil.
Oh.
The host country.
Yeah, I should have said that.
Wins their first ever gold medal. They beat Germany. It was a shootout, and their superstar Neymar.
That's a good sport.
See, yeah,
that's a good team. Well, Brazil, but the rest of move on. I'm going to say something stupid.
No, you can say something stupid. I didn't know if you watched, so I thought I'd throw that out there. That was a layup. It was the host country. Everybody was crying.
I'd rather get dental work done with no Novocaine than watch soccer.
I watched the entire thing. I think it was great.
How did you watch it? You slept in your car.
I had it streaming.
Well played.
All right, moving on. What model/TV show host is now going to become a professor and teach a course next year at Stanford University?
Pat Sajak.
That's a wonderful guess, but you're gonna.
Vanna White?
Nope. You can keep going.
Oh, well, what's his face from
No,
the Jeopardy guy?
It's a what's her face.
Oh, now I'm a sexist pig.
Just now you're a sexist pig? It just comes out now.
I don't know who. I have no idea.
Tyra Banks.
Oh, she does a game show?
I said TV host.
I think you said game show.
Well, it was America's Next Top Model. I don't know if that was
that's not a game show. Great TV show, but not a game show.
Used to be right here on the C-Dub.
Yeah, hell yeah, that show waits.
Tyra Banks, your thoughts?
Yeah, smoking hot.
Thanks.
Yeah,
we agree on that one.
Duh.
All right. What actor is filming his very own spin-off from a cult hit movie that was in the late 90s? He's taking it all on his own, and he's bringing back his character.
Corey Feldman?
No, come on. You got to work harder than this. Drink up.
I don't know who.
You don't pay attention to pop culture?
You don't even give me a title.
Well, that's because I don't want to make it so easy.
Tell me the title, and I bet I still can't get it.
The character is from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, the Jesus.
Yes, see, John Turturro. The allegations were that he had talked to the Coen brothers if they
didn't want to do it.
Right, so it's unknown if they're involved in any way, shape, or form, but they say that there are crews in New York filming right now.
Genius.
See, so
that's I love that movie.
I love that movie too, and I don't know if there's any lines that we can recite about
other than
Jesus.
You're out of your element.
Well, no, but the Jesus.
We'll see you next Saturday instead. That's a great line. What's this day of Never mind. Let's move on before I get fired.
You're not going to get fired. You know,
I might.
You mentioned, you said Corey Feldman, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you guess that?
I don't know. 90s, Corey Feldman? I don't know. I forgot that Big Lebowski came out in 90s.
It was 98, I
thought it was like 2000. But no, it is 98. It just seems...
But the reason that I ask about Corey Feldman,
He's still with us?
Yes. Corey Haim is the one that's not. But see, look at this segue. 1987, The Lost Boys, vampire movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, it had both Corys in there.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That is now going to be a TV show. What network is bringing back The Lost Boys?
This one.
You're right. The C-Dub.
Well, you asked that last time about a thing. Why would you bring up another network?
I'm bringing up our station because I'm trying to be nice. But honestly, I think that's newsworthy. The Lost Boys making it back on the C-Dub.
It is, but
so why would
you wouldn't bring it up if it were some other network?
Maybe I would. It's The Lost Boys.
No.
Well, so that's your first one that you got right. We're going to get two more questions in here. Who was the voice actor of Mermaid Man? That was a character from SpongeBob SquarePants in the early 2000s.
What the hell is Mermaid Man?
Well,
I've never heard of
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Is it somebody I know?
Yes, that's exactly why I'm teeing you up here, so that you either get it right or you're wrong and it's funny.
Leslie Nielsen.
No, Ernest Borgnine.
Damn it!
I wanted to get your Ernest Borgnine in there. My uncle on vacation actually told me to ask that.
Ernest Borgnine Wales. I don't know why I think that. I think George Carlin once said Ernest Borgnine because he said something about, he was talking about something, he said I'd have right next to my nude pictures of Ernest Borgnine. I love that name. It's a great name. It rolls
nude
up.
Pictures?
He's comparing it to something, yeah.
I understand. Well, Randy Quaid tweet that you retweeted with a bunch of
what is
bananas
he doing?
that are...
Randy Quaid has lost it.
It's horrible.
Rock bottom is sometimes fun, but not if you're going to have bananas over your privates.
All right. That's going to do it for the drinking game. We got our Twitter poll. Twitter with the extra this week. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, his account, my account, the show's account, and the show lives forever on YouTube. So we did our weekly Twitter poll. MeatSauce Monty tweeted what's their people's favorite part of the show, and the categories: you looking at yourself, in the dark. You looking at yourself wins with 59%. So go ahead and stare at the camera. Our lack of spell check in our rundown over there, which is it's a good bit.
Fault is that?
It's a good Steve. It's Steve. We're gonna blame you, Steve.
Come on, Steve.
Our drink segment got 10%, and my fashion sense got 7%. So go ahead and stare at yourself as much as you like.
I think I look kind of good. I should probably get a different color of this, but this is my favorite T-shirt I have.
It's your favorite?
I love this T-shirt. I saw it at a place where Fallon and I go for breakfast, and a guy had it on. I'm like,
save that for next week. We'll see you later.